Good morning. How's everybody doing today? It finally warmed up to 50 degrees and we're getting out for a walk. I'm all bundled up. I've got a heavy sweatshirt and one of my husband's fleece on. I don't know where I put mine. I was enjoying some medjool dates this morning. Why are you peeing on the sidewalk? She doesn't usually do that. That's weird. Anyway, I was enjoying some dates this morning and my favorite ones are medjool. And there's a huge difference in flavor I've found between the dates that have the pits in them still and the dates that are pitted. I really think that the pitted dates know they're dead, and the medjool dates that still have the pits in them seem to have a creamier texture on the inside when you bite into them, even though they're dried. But that is my favorite sweet tooth fix. They do have natural sugar in them, but they have a lot of fiber and a lot of nutrients as well. Google that if you're not familiar with dates. Pretty delicious way to fix that sweet tooth if you got one. Healthy way to fix a sweet tooth. They're not cheap, but it's not like you sit there and eat all of them, right? You have a couple. And the ones that I've found that have the best flavor, I've gotten from Mount Hope Wholesale. I have found them at Sprouts, and I've found them most recently at Smith's or Kroger. My favorite are the ones from Mount Hope Wholesale, but I don't order from them every month, probably about every other month. Every 2 to 3 months I put in an order with them. That's where I get my dried stuff from. So if I do order from them, I definitely get some of their dates. They're wonderful. But we're going to walk in a different direction this morning because Meg wanted to go in a different direction. And I thought, why not? We've got to get out here and get our walk going because we got a lot to do today. We've got to put a little water on some of the things in the garden that we don't have bubblers on yet. Check the grow room. And then we're going to do some canning. My husband is spending his last day in Louisiana. And he's going to try to get a BJ in. I don't think he's going to do the BTM again. So the USBC has their Nationals bowling tournament in Louisiana. And they bid these tournament locations out years in advance. And the Louisiana location doesn't seem to have as much accommodation for the Bowler's Journal. If they have the USBC tournament with its associated side tournaments in Las Vegas, the BJ gets an entire house to itself, like 60 lanes, right? And the BTM is probably going to be like at the Gold Coast, and it has a lot of lanes too. They get the whole house as well for that tournament. But in New Orleans, apparently the bowling tournament, or actually it's Baton Rouge. What is my doggy doing? Hey, welcome to the channel. She is walking. But the location that they have it in Louisiana at Baton Rouge, they only have 5 lanes or 5 pairs. I'm not sure if it's 5 lanes or 5 pairs for the BJ and 3 lanes or pairs for the BTM. So doesn't allow for a whole lot of competition at any given time. So that's kind of interesting. It'll be interesting to see what the stats are and the results of that tournament. Let's go down a little further. Let's go to the crosswalk, Meg. We need to cross a lot of traffic here at this time of the day. Surprising. Las Vegas, we don't actually live right in Las Vegas. We're outside of Las Vegas, but this place is a 24-hour city, so people have shifts around the clock. So let's just wait till this slows down a little bit, and we're going to walk across the street. Okay, let's make it to the middle. We can do it, Miss Meg. Going to the nature park today. Come on. Somebody's nice letting us cross. Come on, baby. Good girl. Boy, when I first got Meg, she was afraid to cross the street. And I see I have a comment, but I can't look at my phone right yet, but I will in just a minute as soon as we get over through the traffic here. But when I first got Meg, she wouldn't even cross the street. She was terrified of the street. All right, let's go. Come on. Good girl. Yeah, we live on the outskirts of Henderson, about 25 minutes out of Las Vegas. And everybody's getting to work today, except me. I'm working at home, right? Okay, we're almost to the park. Yay. Okay, let me see. Hey Ron, good morning. Welcome to the channel. Fish Scale, welcome to the channel. So Fish Scale, what kind of dog is she? She, interestingly enough, when we got her from the shelter, they said she was a shepherd mix, and we're like, no, she's not a shepherd mix. So we got one of those doggy DNA tests off of Amazon. They're actually not very expensive. And it turns out she is half American Staffordshire Terrier and half Siberian Husky. And she has traits from both dogs. Doing good today. We had kind of a cold snap. We actually had wind out of the north yesterday. It was freezing. And not as cold as where you are, but I thought our summer was coming. And so it was really chilly. And chilly again this morning. I actually turned the heat back on in the house. We haven't had the heat or the air on for a couple weeks. Well, except maybe one night. Carrie was really hot from working on a car outside in the sun, and he was hot and had the air on. But most of the time, this time of the year, you don't need either of those things. But yeah, it was pretty chilly, so I put the heat back on. I'll be able to take it off again tomorrow, I think. But doing good. I'm going to do some canning today. It's a little too cool to put anything out. The things that I have left to plant are warmer weather stuff, and things like squash, pumpkin. The pumpkin, actually, I put a flannel sheet doubled over multiple times over the top of them, and they did okay. But squash doesn't like colder weather. You're having snow showers today. You know, our alarm panel has this little thing that tells you what the weather is, and it's actually showing lightning. So I don't know if we're going to get a thunderstorm later today. It's kind of weird because usually, well, it could be building back over there over those mountains close to the lake. Normally you don't get those when it's cold, so we'll see what happens, right? So yeah, when the weather gets a little colder like this, I wasn't expecting it, take a break from the gardening and go back in on the indoor projects, right? So been working on a quilt, doing some canning. That's kind of what we got going on today. And I'm really glad it's not snowing. I've only seen snow here one time, and it melted. But and Meg is enjoying it. Earlier there was a chipmunk underneath that bush. She is really into the ground squirrels and the chipmunks, let me tell you. That's the terrier part of her breed. The sun is up now, and I'm feeling the heat of it absorbing into my dark blue jacket. And it's going to be a nice day today. I'm missing my husband. Can't wait for him to get home. He's going to bowl another tournament this weekend in Houston, and Monday he'll be back on the road, back home. So I'm looking forward to that. By then, I'll be so tired from all my projects, I'll be ready to go sit down and drink a cup of coffee at a coffee shop with him, right? Sure would like to get some progress done on that quilt, though. I'm getting there. I got one more end to score off, and I think I'll be able to move more quickly at that point. When you're working with a lot of diverse shapes, it's a lot slower putting it together. So it's kind of fun. That's about what I've got going on. What do you got going on today, Ron? Probably staying inside if it's snowing. Isn't this pretty? It's very peaceful. See the mountains back over there. Actually, you probably could see the strip before I came into these trees, right? There's an area that I can walk that's a little higher up, and I actually can see the strip from it, which is kind of cool to look down on. Oh, you've got snow advisory till 5 p.m. My friends and family back in Alaska were telling me they're getting a lot of snow now. Gotta love that Easter surprise, right? We used to always get kind of depressed if it snowed after Easter. Hopefully they don't get that this year. You never know what you're going to get in Alaska. I imagine Maine's kind of the same way. What is it, huh? What is it? Did the chipmunk go there? I've been seeing this plant right here. I have no idea what that is. It doesn't have a bubbler either. It must be getting water off of that tree. Does the tree have a bubbler? Yeah, the tree's got a bubbler. Huh. It's kind of an unusual looking plant. Yeah, I'm that girl that looks at all the plants. So there's some really pretty wildflowers that grow here. They're in the mallow family. And usually I just see them orange colored, but these ones are pink. Look at that. These are wildflowers. And they probably have deep roots that get some water off of the bubblers that are here for the trees. Those things right there, that brush, that doesn't have any bubbler. That'll live anywhere. It's amazing to me how hardy some of these plants can be. Of course, you could probably say the same thing about plants in Alaska as well, right? Some of that stuff that survives the 60 below weather and comes back the next year. I bet you can't wait for summer, Ron. That's how I used to always be. Yeah, I bet you that's where those thunderstorms are going to come from. Those clouds up back there. Those are going to get bigger and move this way more than likely over the course of the day. We sure had a lot of birds in the yard. The finches are back. And those little guys like to eat stuff, like everything. And I had to go help a couple of them get out of the net. So while I have these trees netted, I have to check my yard often. Eventually, once they get in there and get a little scared, they figure out that they don't want to be there, and then they stop, and then I don't have to worry about it so much. But yeah, I check the nets that I have on the trees because I don't want any birds to get hurt. We don't want them eating our fruit, but we don't want to hurt anything either. Oh, yeah, Ron, those quail are really cool. They're kind of getting used to me, too. I mean, they're very wild, but we've come a long ways. I've never thought that I'd get them to come when I called them. It's pretty amazing. And I think other people put seed blocks out for them. But they're definitely very wild birds, so it's pretty cool that I can call them. Don't get me wrong, I can't get too close to them, maybe 5 feet away. And here's another one of these mallows. These ones are white. All right, there's bees in that bush, Meg. Let's leave them be. You don't want to get those guys riled up. I do pretty good with them in the yard and stuff, but our bees are mixed with killer bees. And you don't want to get stung by a bee anyway, but you really don't want to get stung by these bees. So most of the time, if one gets a little riled, you just back off or hold still for a minute and they calm down. I do pretty good with bees. But it's good to be cautious, be aware. Oh, I'm just loving nature. A little peace on earth here. Actually, that's our backyard. But everybody should get out and get moving. Move your body. Keeps you going. It's important for your health. Most people can walk. Most people. Well, it sure is a gorgeous day today. Sure appreciate some new people joining in. And Ron, it's always a pleasure to chat with you. Thanks for watching and have a blessed day. Thanks for watching.